Hey guys, I thought you might be interested in hearing some foreign names, and I've studied abroad a couple of times, so I have a lot of friends who are from other countries, especially I spent a year in France and I was in an international student program, so all of my friends there were from other countries, and there's people from all over the world, so I thought I would tell you some of the names of the people that I am friends with and where they're from. So the first one is Emil, and this is a guy's name, and he's from the country Azerbaijan, but Emil is actually a French name, and it means imitating or rivaling, and I think it's really cool. There's a famous French poet named Émile Zola, so it's a really cool name. I don't know if it would be usable in the US because you might get called Emily, but is it, like teasing? But I think Emil is a really cool name. The next one is a girl's name from the Czech Republic, and her name was Karin, or it looks like how you would pronounce it in English would probably be Karen. She also went by Karina. And Karen, spelled this way, means pure, and it also has two meanings. It can also mean torture, which I think is a horrible name meaning. I don't know where that came from. I like to think of it as pure more than torture. The next one is Elsa, and Elsa was from Sweden, and this name means noble or honorable. And in 2011, Elsa was actually the #3 girl's name in Sweden, so it's very popular there right now. And I think Elsa is a really cute name. The next one is Maxime, and this is from Canada, Quebec, and this is actually a boy's name. And Maxime means greatest, which isn't a surprise since it has Max in there. And the next one is Zsofia, and I love this name. I don't know that it would be usable in the United States because I think it would get mispronounced a lot. And it's a Hungarian name, and it's the Hungarian version of Sophia, or Sophie, and it means wisdom. And in 2011, it was #6 in Hungary for girls, so this is a really popular name too. The next one is Annalise, and she is from Venezuela, and it's just a created name from Anna or Anna and Lisa. Or in English you might say Annalise, in French we said Annalise, but yeah. The next one is Vaska, and I think this is a really cool name, and it's a guy from Georgia. It's a masculine name, and it is a version of William. It means will or desire or helmet and protection. And the next one is Hario or Ario, and he just went by Rio, and he's from Indonesia. And I couldn't find any information on this name anywhere, but I really liked the name Rio. I thought that was cool. The next one is a French name, François Xavier, or Francois Xavier, and he went by FX, which is FX. And in France, these compound names are actually very popular for boys and girls. So it's really cool. It was a really long name, and we actually went to salsa class together, and the instructor, when he met him for the first time, he was like, wow, why can't you be called like Jean-Paul instead of François Xavier, because it was so long to say. The next one is Guillermo, which is a Spanish name, Spanish version of William. So it has the same meaning as Vasca, which is will, desire, or helmet protection. And this Guillermo is from Ecuador. And Guillermo is the #37 name in Spain in 2010. So it's fairly popular in Spain. The next one is Manu, and he is from Colombia. And Manu means original man. It's a Sanskrit name, so I thought it was interesting that someone from Colombia had a Sanskrit name. And I noticed a lot of the names aren't necessarily from the country these people are from. So especially in Europe, I think names get mixed around a lot because the countries are so close, and they probably think it's fun to use other international names just like we do. So the next name is Minhui, and she's from Taiwan, so it's a Chinese name. And she picked a different French name because people would have trouble pronouncing it or remembering it. And her French name was Melinda, which the meaning for Melinda is bee or honey, which is a super cute name. The next one is Sophie, and she is French. and Sophie means wisdom. And in 2011, Sophie was the number 51 name in the US, number 7 in Australia, and then in 2010 it was number 9 in Canada and number 171 in France. So it is way more popular in English-speaking countries right now than it is in France, even though it's a French name. The next one is a girl from Brazil. Her name is Giovanna, or Giovanna. And Giovanna means God is merciful. I think it's a really pretty name. And it's a female version of Giovanni, or variation of John. The next one is a Japanese name, Yasuko, and it means the peaceful or the tranquil, which is such a cool meaning. I love meanings of names, and a meaning for me can make or break a name. If it has a horrible meaning, I wouldn't use it. It could even have an okay meaning and I would still use it. It doesn't have to have like a fabulous meaning for me to use it, but it can't have a bad meaning. I know some people don't care at all about meanings, but when I find a name that has a nice meaning, it makes me like it more. The next one is a guy from Morocco, and his name is Yon, and this is a version of John, and it means God is gracious. And the next one is another Japanese name, Akane, and this is a girl's name meaning red dye. I think Akane is a super cute name too. But Japanese names, I don't know if they could be used very well in the United States. They would get mispronounced a lot, I think. The next one is a guy from Afghanistan, and his name is Ali, which is an Arabic name meaning high, lofty, or sublime. The next one is another French name, Gaspard, and this is a guy's name. It means keeper of the treasure. And in 2010, it was number 66 in France, so it's getting fairly popular. It's not super popular. The next one is Cynthia, and she is from Brazil. And it is an old Greek name meaning woman from Kinthos. So I don't know where Kinthos is, but somewhere in Greece, I'm assuming. I think Cynthia is a really cute name. Pronouncing it in English, probably be Cynthia. It's kind of strange sounding in English. And obviously it's a variation of Cynthia. The next one is a girl from Malaysia, and her name is Suki. And the Japanese meaning of Suki is beloved. And I would think, since Malaysia is closer to Japan, that might be where her name came from. But there is a Hebrew meaning as well, which means lily, which I think is cute. So both of those are great meanings, though. So Suki is kind of a cool name, and Suki is one that people probably would pronounce correctly. Another Malaysian name, this is a guy's name, is Uzair, and it's actually an Arabic name, and it means helpful. I thought it was a cool sounding name, and you don't see a lot of names that start with U. The next one is a girl's name, and this girl's from Germany. Her name is Oriana, and Oriana is an old French name, which means gold, or sunrise and dawn, which is a really cool name. If you like O names, I think it's really pretty. And she goes by Ori sometimes too. The next name is a really interesting one that I couldn't find any information on, and it's Edson, and he was from Albania. And I think Edson is totally usable in the United States. I mean, everyone would know how to pronounce it when they looked at it, but it is so unique because I couldn't find any information on it. And I think it's probably virtually unused in the United States. So a very cool name. And the next one is Jacek, which is from Poland. And Jacek means hyacinth, which is really cool, but a little bit of a girly meaning. I think this is a guy's name, but I do like it. I don't think it's usable in the United States or an English-speaking country because it would be pronounced Jacek. I don't know. Jacek sounds kind of cool, but I don't know. The next one is a girl from Indonesia, and her name is Tenri, which I couldn't find any information on this name either, so I think Tenri is really cute sounding. I don't know that I would use it, but I think it's cute. And the next one is a girl from Ireland, and her name is Helen, which is definitely a much more familiar name since it's another English-speaking country. And Helen means bright one, shining one. The next one is a guy from Denmark, and his name was Nikolaj, which means victor of the people, and it's the Russian version of Nicholas. And they don't speak Russian in Denmark, but I'm guessing they just adopted that version of it. And the last one is an Armenian name, and her name is Arevik, and I couldn't find Arivik spelled this way, but I did find the Armenian name Arivig with a G, and the sound is very similar. If you know, in Armenian, Arivik and Arivig. I'm not sure if that's the Armenian pronunciation, but the sound at the end is very similar. So I think it's just an alternate spelling, and it means like the sun, and I love that meaning. And this is a girl's name, if I forgot to say that. So I don't know if you guys have heard all of these names before. A lot of them I had not heard until I met these people, and I think it's really cool to meet people with different names from all different places. So let me know which ones you like the best, which ones you think you could never use in the country where you live, and which ones you had never heard of before or thought are the most creative. Thanks for watching. Bye!